Well, good evening, everybody. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. It's Friday evening, and this is my Fabulous Friday Facebook Live. I have moved it to 7 o'clock because the days are getting beautiful outside, and when I get off work, I like to go out and work in the yard. And I think probably you guys do too. Anyway, tonight I am going to present a card like this. Lisa Curcio is the one that I learned it from, and it folds flat and fits into a standard envelope, but it has this wonderful pop-up. Can you see? It looks like that, sticks out like that. So it's a wonderful pop-up, and what I love about it is that it's not straight as for a side step. It's kind of twisted a little bit. Makes for a little bit of tricky paper cutting, but I think it's well worth the effort. This is, I'm using the Blossoms in Bloom, I think it's called, Sweet. It features the lovely, get the name of it, Valley in Bloom. And the colors of the Valley in Bloom are Basic Beige, Blackberry Bliss, Coastal Cabana, Darling Duckling, Garden Green, Lemon Lime Twist, Granny Apple Green, and Pretty Peacock. Now, this is the Pretty Peacock, but they have lightened it. It's not as dark as the cardstock. And the Blackberry Bliss, you can see it a little bit. I'll get it out from under there. This is the Designer Series paper. You can see the spots right here that are really dark, but then there's other areas where it is lighter, and this is the just now forgot the name. The Pretty Peacock. And some places it's dark and some places it's not. So there are two sheets that are 12 by 12, and this one has this pattern all the way around, which makes it really nice. You could cut it this way, and you could have several card fronts out of it, or you could use it as a whole sheet and then put your photo in there if you do some scrapbooking. The other one is this one, and this kind of an image is also on this side here. And again, it makes for a beautiful scrapbook page. It is so pretty. I think I might even mount it and put some saying in here, put it in a 12 by 12 frame, and just enjoy it for the summer. So that's a way you could use it as a decor item. Oh, and the back side, this is the Basic Beige, and then there's this subtle pattern here. Okay, the other sheets, there's one with Lilies of the Valley all over it, and the back side is a Darling Duckling design like that. Then there's this one that is a brushed green with varying colors of green. The back side is the Basic Beige with a subtle pattern. Another one with Lily of the Valley bouquets. And the back side is this beautiful plaid, and that's the Pretty Peacock that's been lightened up. And then there's this one with the leaves. And then the back or flowers on the Darling Duckling background. So at any rate, that is the Designer Series paper. Coming also with the suite are these lovely shimmering dots in Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, and white. They've got just a touch of gold in them. Oh, those are gorgeous. And I didn't use it on my card. I might have to. I forgot about them on the sample card. So let's just put some on right now. And I particularly like the Coastal Cabana. So I think I'll stick one. Actually, I think I'll put one down here. Well, get it centered. Where'd it go? There it is. Put one there. And then everything needs to be in threes or uneven numbers. So I think I'll stick one up here. There. Now it's complete. Gotta have some bling on it. I put the ribbon on thinking that was enough bling, but that's the way it goes. Okay, and then the dies and the stamp set. So we've got this die. That will cut out the stamp image. The images here are a little bit smaller than what are in the actually inside. So it would cut out that image like that. And a die to cut out paired leaves. And this one cuts out the smaller bouquet. And this one just embosses and makes a cluster of little lily of the valley. And then this one creates a background. And then I've got this die to cut out leaves and emboss. And we have this die that embosses as it cuts the lilies of the valley. And they look like this. There. And on my sample, I had intended to color this green, and I forgot before I put it down. But I think I will on this one color the stem. And I think I'll use Granny Apple Green. Light Granny Apple Green because we don't have blends in Garden Green. So let's get started on this. I'll color that right while I'm talking about it. Thing I like about blends is that they blend so well. I like them better than the markers because they are more of a translucent color, so that when you color, it doesn't obliterate the line. See, you can still see the lines from the shading of the stamp. So we have just a few more days before the May-August catalog, which this is in, will go live. And then I can show you the catalog and show you some of the examples that Stampin' Up! Has made that are in the catalog. The catalog is laid out different than what it has been in the past. But I kind of like it the way it is. There are some improvements in it that I like. Okay, we'll set this aside for now. We start out with a card base, and it is 4 inches by 10 5/8. See if I get this to where you can see it. I think I can. Okay, so the first score line is at 5/8. So set it here at 5/8. And then we go up and move it to 5 7/8. Okay, we'll set that aside for a moment. And I'm going to get a ruler. Because we have to make marks, and I usually do it with my paper cutter trimmer, but it'll be easier probably for you to see it here. Okay, so this is the 5/8 down here, and this is our score line up at the top, and they're both mountain folds. Okay, I did that so that we can see better where we're going. Okay, so now along this 5/8 score line, we are going to make a mark at 3/4 of an inch. Right there. And then another one at 2 7/8. 2 7/8. Then up here on this line, we make a mark at 2 1/8 and 3 1/8. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the paper trimmer again. You could draw a line between the two, but I just used the guide. By lining up the dots under the cutting groove, I'm going to cut from the score line up to the next score line. Let's see if I got it. That's pretty good. And we're going to move it over, and we're going to do the same thing. The score line. And that score line. Well, I'm way off. Dang. My eyesight is not that great, apparently. I'll try it again. I'm going to have a little bit of a That's better. Got a little bit of a ridge there, but it'll pretty much be covered up. But I think I'm going to tape it. So that it's solid with some Scotch tape. Last time I made this card, I had similar problems. And last night when I was making it, it worked out really well. Okay, that'll give it some stability there. Okay, now we're going to score again. This time, we are going to score at 1 1/4. So, I'm going to put it at 1 1/4. And we're going to score, not cut, we're going to score from the outside edge to that cut, diagonal cut, on both sides. And then we go up to 5 1/4. And we're going to score in between here. Okay. So this becomes a mountain fold. And these become valley folds. Like that. Score it a little bit. Or burnish it, I should mean. And then you get your, see how it stands? And it'll stand like that. Okay, so now for the Designer Series paper. On my sample, I wanted this pattern on the back, and I wanted this solid in the front. I have messed and fussed, and these markings here, these numbers, was how I figured out to cut out just these two out of this piece of paper and just the center part out of this, because I didn't want to waste the paper. It was pretty tricky getting the angle. Because of the angles, it's really quite tricky. So I decided this time we would just cut it according to the directions that Lisa gave. So, but I'm going to cut two pieces because I still want to have the green in the center. So the first measurement, first mark, is at 3/4, right there, and then 2 5/8, 2 5/8, right there, and up here at the top, it is 1 7/8, right there, and 2 7/8. There. And again, you could line it up like that and draw a line. But I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Okay, so let me do it with this one. First one is 3/4. 2 5/8. And up here at the top, 1 7/8. And 2 7/8. Okay, and we'll cut. Okay, there's the mark for that. And there's the mark for that. Now, if I've cut it straight, correctly, this piece goes in there, and this piece goes in there. Yeah, it looks like pretty good. Okay, and this, wait. This is the centerpiece. This is the one that goes up here. Now, it'd be nice to be able to just turn it over, but it doesn't fit because of the angles. So got to do the same thing with the green. This will be easier to see the markings for sure. Yeah, right. There it is. All I want is the centerpiece this time. So I've got enough for 2 cards now. I could do that, and this, and this. And that could be pretty too. Or I could do the whole thing backwards. Nah, don't like that. Anyway, so you can get 2 for the price of 1, except I really didn't want to have the floral part in the center. But if you used a solid label for the center, that would work okay. Okay, so let's glue them on. And I'm going to use liquid glue because you can move it around if you don't get it straight first try. Only problem is, oh, I got to tell you a funny story. Only problem is you get it on your fingers and it's hard to get it off. And I was making something and I got it on my fingers and I thought, and I went to wash it off and I needed to have my glasses washed also. So I, in the process, tried to wash my glasses. And the glue adhered to my glasses. And I had a heck of a time. I finally got undo to get the glue off my glasses that are plastic. Tell you, that was a horrible mess. This stuff is terrible. It sticks well, and you can reposition it, but it is terrible. And this one goes on the end. Let's erase that mark. I really like these pencils. They're Technic 2. I think Lisa's the one that mentioned them first, because the mechanical pencil, the lead can go into the track of the paper cutter. And then finally, down at the bottom, we have a strip, a narrow strip, that is 3/8 by 3 3/4 to put on down here. And while we've got it stretched out, I'm going to stamp our greeting. It says, "To one of the nicest people I know." I'm going to stamp it in garden green. This is the only stamp of the set that fits in this narrow space, but it fits nicely. There. And all we have left to do now is put the flowers on. Where'd it go? There they are. Before I cut this out, I put adhesive sheet on the back. This is the new Barely Blush cardstock, and I actually took a sheet, piece 6 inches by 8.5. And did a half, yeah, cut it 6 inches by 8.5. Put a whole thing of the adhesive sheet on it, so that I have it on hand whenever I need. Now I'm going to use Stamp and Seal. Lift up this flower. I'm going to try to. There. Like so. And then we'll add an overhand knot with the Barely Blush paper ribbon. Is 100% polyester, and it is a quarter of an inch. No, 3/8 inch. Sorry, 3/8 inch. that on with a glue dot. Like so. Funky bow. Stick another glue dot on there too. Make it stay down. Well, there. And some of our embellishments. This time I think I'll use the green. I'll use a bigger one. I think I like the blue better. So there's this one, and there's my sample. So which do you like, the blue or the green better? Anyway, thank you for watching. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. Rain or shine, it's stamping time. And if you have any questions, you can email me, sue@soggystamper.com. My blog is soggystamper.com. And if you would like to order, come May 5th, if you would like to order in any of these products that I've used here, you can click on the upper right-hand corner. The button says 24/7. And it will take you right to my online store. Or you can type in creationsbysue.stampinup.net. I've been trying to get soggystamper.com or something like that to link directly to the store, but I haven't quite figured that out yet. And I'll put this up on my YouTube channel, the Soggy Stamper, later this evening. So thanks for watching. This is... I'll be back next Friday at 7 o'clock for another Fabulous Friday Facebook Live. Have a wonderful weekend, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.